Today we make pizza. We make our own dough, hand kneaded, to make the world's best pizza.
That's a big claim.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Okay, if you want to get really technical, the magic number is 56, and this is for getting the temperatures right. And it's how you get to number 56. You take the temperature of the flour, and so say the temperature of the flour is at 15 degrees. You add that to the temperature of the air, and it's 20 degrees now. That gives you 35, and then you know that the water should be 21 degrees, and they all add up to 56. But you know, and the water is the one that's easy to adjust to the variable temperatures. But to do that, you really need a digital cooking thermometer, and you don't really need to go to that lengths. But that gives you the absolute optimum conditions for the yeast to grow, and it's important also for something like for sourdoughs when you're dealing with wild yeast. 1 tablespoon, and so the magic ratio is actually 20 mil of salt for a kilo, and a tablespoon is 15, but it doesn't hurt. I'm a bit salt sensitive. I prefer not to go overboard, so 1 tablespoon works fine. I'll dissolve the salt.
So some people say that you should not put the salt before the yeast.
Intuitively, you'd think that the salt will kill the yeast, but it doesn't.
So we have a wooden spoon.
Wooden
So
spoon.
as long as you're working there, you're being filmed.
Okay. So, you know, sometimes what I do you have one of those things for that you put the flour in and you pull the trigger and it loosens.
Like a sifter.
Like a sifter? Yeah.
We have a sifter.
I do everything with a sifter. Flour and sifter.
Yeah.
My cakes, everything. I need to take a photo.
It really hydrates the
flour
the flour
homogeneously.
and then
without blobbing it.
and that what and then when you add the yeast at this stage, it goes into the flour's nicely hydrated, and it makes it easier for the yeast to feed on it.
Yeah.
And it's a clean way, isn't it? Because you're not actually using your hands.
That's right.
And yeah, you are airing.
Keeps your wife happy.
Yeah, you're aerating it. Yep.
Yeah. I love my sifter.
Yeah.
All my cakes, everything. If I work with flour, I'm sifting.
Depending on how long you're working with, if you're doing this over 18 hours, 1/4 teaspoon would be plenty. We're doing it over slightly shorter time, so I'm going to use closer to half a teaspoon. Okay.
See, Ren, this sensitivity to lots of things.
fun and get your hands dirty.
That's right.
Now, I know a
Ready for
secret
that?
that you probably know, but I learned the other day
What's that?
how to clean your hands after you've been playing with it.
Oh, you rub them together?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the next step is that we leave it for a couple of hours, and then what we'll do is we'll bag it up.
So you put a little bit of olive oil. So let's cover that now. Okay, so we'll be back in about 2 hours for us to bag them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you,
Yeah.
Mel. We are looking forward to that. The best pizza in Blackburn.
2 or 3 hours and that'll be fine. So we'll cut this up into 8 pieces, and what we're aiming for is 180 grams, about 180 grams each piece. So let's see how this one looks.
Yeah, that's 180 gram exactly.
Not bad. Just get it
Oh, man.
and stretch it over itself.
Mm. Oh, that's a skill. I need to learn that one.
So that's
That's the tea you're talking about.
yeah.
Oh, the triangle. Tell me about the challenge you're about to have.
Well, it'll be interesting to work with somebody else's wood oven. Every oven has its own unique characteristics, and
So-
that will be interesting to get to know the oven and see if we can get the best out of the oven.
So what are the 3 main requisites?
Well, what I say when people ask me how do you build a wood oven and what to do, I say there's 3 things that you should be aware of when you're making a wood oven. Just make sure you satisfy these 3 criteria, whatever you do. Make sure that you have somewhere that has the capacity to store the heat that you generate, because that will help with an even cooking. The next thing that you need is insulation. Once again, you don't waste a lot of wood and it helps create even cooking. And the third thing is to have a hearth at the front of the fire. So they're the 3 prerequisites to a good wood oven. What will make it challenging today is that this oven satisfies none of that criteria.
So this is how not to.
No, so it's all part of the fun of cooking.
So if you get a decent pizza today, you think it's a big success.
But well, what we do have is we've got fire.
Yeah.
And that's the other ingredient, fire that's encased in an oven. So we'll just have to work with that, and I'm sure we'll be able to do something that works.
And we have a great dough, so that works too.
We've got a good dough, and good intentions.
Okay, cool. Let's see how it goes.
So
But
there we go.
that's a
Yes.
cabbage too. La 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 la. Largo a patoto della città, largo. I want my cheese in the bottom, yeah, but some people put it at the top.
I like having the meat on the top, because then the meat the meat sort of cooks and it releases the fat and the flavour, and that runs.
Bring a cup.
See how I keep keeping it moving?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Well, it's because I put a little. I just like to keep it moving so it doesn't stick.
wiggle it.
Okay.
Look at this.
The world's best pizza.